Right now, someone is manipulating you. They're using techniques you don't see, techniques that were never taught in school, techniques that work on you because you don't know they exist. And the people using them, they want you to stay ignorant. Because the moment you see how the game is played, you stop being the player getting played. This isn't about becoming a manipulator. This is about never being manipulated again. Before we dive in, drop this in the comments right now. I see the game clearly. Do it. I'll wait. Because what you're about to learn, most people will never understand. And those who do, they rule their world quietly. Let's begin. Number 1, strategic silence. Here's what they don't tell you about power. Power isn't loud. Power doesn't explain itself. Power doesn't fill uncomfortable gaps. Real power, it sits in silence and watches you squirm. Most people are terrified of silence, so when it shows up in conversation, they panic. They explain. They justify. They reveal things they never intended to share. But the person who controls the silence, they control everything. In negotiations, silence makes the other person offer more than they planned. In arguments, silence forces people to project their own insecurities onto you. In everyday conversation, silence makes people assume you know something they don't. This isn't a trick. This is psychological gravity. The less you say, the more weight your words carry. The more comfortable you are with silence, the less control anyone has over you. Try this tomorrow. When someone asks you a question, pause for 3 full seconds before answering. Watch what happens. Watch them fill the gap. Watch them give you information you never asked for. That's strategic silence, and once you master it, you'll never be rushed into revealing anything again. Number 2, controlled ambiguity. Let me tell you a secret about influence. Mystery doesn't repel people. Mystery pulls them in. When you explain everything, your plans, your motives, your next move, you become predictable. And predictable people, they have zero power. Smart people reveal just enough to keep you interested, just enough to make you curious, never enough to let you see the full picture. This isn't lying. This isn't withholding. This is understanding that the human brain cannot resist filling in gaps. When information is incomplete, your mind automatically completes the story. And usually, it completes it in favor of the mysterious person. Think about the most intriguing people you know. They never tell you everything. They answer questions with questions. They smile when you expect them to explain. Here's what most people do. Someone asks about their weekend plans, and they say, "Oh, I'm just staying home, watching Netflix, maybe ordering pizza." Complete transparency, complete forgettability. Here's what strategically ambiguous people say. "I've got something important to handle." Then they change the subject. See the difference? The first answer makes you predictable. The second makes you interesting. Your information is currency. Don't spend it all at once. When you practice controlled ambiguity, people start listening more carefully when you do speak, because they know you don't waste words. And the less you reveal, the more people assume you're operating on a level they can't quite reach. Let them think that. It's working in your favor. Number 3, emotional non-participation. This one will make you untouchable. Most people are emotional puppets. Someone raises their voice at them, they raise their voice back. Someone tries to provoke them, they take the bait. Someone pushes their buttons, they react exactly as expected. But here's the truth they'll never tell you in school. The person who doesn't react emotionally forces the other person to carry the emotional weight alone. When someone yells and you stay calm, they feel exposed. When someone tries to provoke you and you don't bite, They feel powerless. This isn't coldness. This is mastery. Emotional regulation is one of the rarest forms of power because most people never develop it. They think being emotional makes them authentic. They think reacting proves they care. But all it really proves is that they can be controlled. Think about it. If I can make you angry, I control you. If I can make you defensive, I control you. If I can make you anxious, I control you. But if I can't make you feel anything you don't want to feel, you're untouchable. This is why the calmest person in the room is usually the most dangerous. Not because they're violent, because they can't be manipulated through emotion. Next time someone tries to bait you into an emotional reaction, just observe. Watch them escalate while you stay neutral. Watch them exhaust themselves trying to get a response. And when they're done, respond with facts, logic, and calm precision. They'll never try it again. Because emotional non-participation sends one clear message: you can't control me. Number 4, the scarcity of approval. Here's a brutal truth about human psychology. People don't value what's freely given. Most people give approval too easily. They compliment too fast. They validate too quickly. And because of that, their approval becomes worthless. But when your approval is rare, it becomes valuable. Think about it. If someone compliments everything you do, you stop caring about their opinion. But if someone rarely gives praise, and then one day they say you did something well, that hits different. This isn't about being cold or withholding kindness. This is about understanding that scarcity creates value. When you're selective with your approval, people unconsciously work harder for it. Not because you demanded it, not because you manipulated them, but because your approval actually means something. Here's the shift. Stop praising people for mediocrity. Stop validating behavior that doesn't deserve validation. When someone does something genuinely impressive, acknowledge it. But don't hand out gold stars for showing up. The people in your life will sense the difference. And suddenly, earning your respect becomes something worth striving for. This works in relationships, at work, with friends, with everyone. The less you give your approval away, the more people will value it when you do. Number 5, reframing the frame. Listen carefully, because this is where amateurs lose and professionals win. Whoever defines the frame controls the conversation. If someone accuses you and you defend yourself, you've already lost. Because by defending, you've accepted their frame. You've agreed that you need to justify yourself. You've given them the power to judge you. But smart people, they don't defend, they reframe. Example: someone says, "Why are you always late?" Most people defend, "I'm not always late, traffic was bad, I had to." Stop. You just accepted the frame that you need to justify your time. Reframe instead. Interesting. What makes punctuality so important to you right now? See what happened? Now they're explaining. Now you're in control. You shifted the frame from you defending yourself to them explaining their assumptions. Another example. Someone says, "Why didn't you finish that project?" Weak response. "I didn't have time. I was busy with other things." Reframe. "Help me understand your priorities here. What should I have deprioritized to make this happen?" Now they're thinking about trade-offs. Now the conversation is about resource allocation, not your failure. This technique works everywhere, in arguments, in negotiations, in relationships. Whoever controls the frame controls the outcome. Most people spend their whole lives defending themselves in other people's frames. Don't be most people. When someone tries to put you in a box, change the shape of the room. Number 6, selective vulnerability. Here's what weak people do. They share everything with everyone. They think that being an open book makes them authentic. They think that oversharing builds connection. It doesn't. Oversharing is weakness disguised as honesty. But controlled vulnerability? That's influence. When you reveal something personal, strategically, sparingly, people lower their guard. They feel trusted. They feel chosen. They feel close to you. But here's the key. You decide what gets revealed and when. The mistake most people make is turning vulnerability into emotional diarrhea. They dump their trauma on strangers. They share their deepest fears with acquaintances. They broadcast their insecurities to anyone who'll listen. And then they wonder why people don't respect them. Selective vulnerability is different. You choose specific moments to share specific things with specific people. When you do this right, vulnerability becomes a tool for building loyalty without sacrificing authority. Example: instead of telling everyone about your struggles, you share a specific challenge with one person at a strategic moment. They feel honored that you trusted them. They feel connected to you in a unique way. And because you don't do this with everyone, it actually means something. This is how leaders build devoted teams. This is how influencers build loyal communities. This is how powerful people maintain both connection and respect. Remember, vulnerability without strategy is just weakness. But vulnerability with intention, that's power. Number 7, detachment from outcome. This is the most dangerous one. And if you master it, you become unstoppable. Here's the truth most people never learn. The person who needs the outcome has already lost. When you're desperate for approval, people sense it. When you're desperate for a deal, you lose leverage. When you're desperate for love, you attract manipulation. Neediness is visible, and it destroys power. But detachment? Detachment is freedom. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're not controlled by caring. It means you're willing to walk away. It means you know you'll be okay either way. And paradoxically, when you stop clinging to outcomes, people start moving toward you. Think about it. Who has more power in a relationship? The person who's terrified of being alone, or the person who knows they'll thrive regardless? Who has more power in a negotiation? The person who desperately needs the deal, or the person with other options? The answer is obvious. Here's what detachment looks like in practice. You want the promotion, but you're not destroyed if you don't get it. You'd like the relationship to work, but you won't compromise your values to keep it. You hope the deal closes, but you have backup plans if it doesn't. This isn't apathy. This is strategic emotional positioning. When you're detached from outcomes, you make better decisions. You negotiate from strength. You attract better opportunities. Because people can sense when you don't need them. And ironically, that's when they want you most. The most powerful person in any room isn't the loudest. It's the one who's willing to leave. Now you know what they know. These 7 techniques are already being used on you by leaders, by negotiators, by confident people who never explain their methods. The question isn't whether you'll use them. The question is whether you'll keep being used by people who already understand them. This knowledge doesn't make you dangerous. Ignoring it makes you vulnerable. So here's what you do next. Pick one technique. Practice it for 7 days. Watch how people respond differently. Watch how you feel when you stop being reactive and start being strategic. And remember, the goal isn't manipulation. The goal is awareness. Because once you can see the strings, they stop pulling you. Now, if this video just changed how you see the world, do 3 things. 1. Hit the like button. The algorithm needs to know you want more of this. 2. Subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm dropping the next level of this knowledge soon. 3. Drop a comment. Tell me which technique you're going to master first. Because the people who take action, they're the ones who end up running things. The most powerful person in the room isn't the loudest one. It's the one who understands how the game is actually played. Now go play it.